Welcome to this new teaching, my warrior. Grab something to write with. Today, I'm going to teach you a very important law, Machiavelli's psychological law that makes you impossible to manipulate. If you're here, it's because you're searching for something most people will never understand. You're searching for real power, not the kind that makes noise, not the kind that's visible, but the kind that controls everything else. The majority thinks power comes from domination, from force, from external control. But true masters know a different truth. Power begins in the mind, because he who cannot be controlled ends up controlling everything. Look at the world around you. Who really runs things? It's not the physically strongest. It's not the nicest. It's the thinkers. Those who see 10 moves ahead while everyone else is still reacting to the previous move. Physical strength exhausts itself. Charm fades. But strategic intelligence? It transcends ages. Those who rise to the top think differently. They don't get carried away by their emotions. They don't get lost in ambient noise. They observe in silence. They calculate with precision. They adapt quickly. And when others panic, they strike at the perfect moment. There's a powerful quote. The wise man does immediately what the fool does eventually. This means intelligence isn't just knowing more. It's acting faster, seeing clearer, thinking sharper. Intelligence is the only form of power that cannot be stolen, copied, or destroyed. Either you build it, or you remain under the control of those who have built it. The truth. Nobody tells you. Here's the brutal reality. Your brain has been programmed to stay weak, to seek comfort, to avoid pressure, to drown in distraction. You scroll endlessly, you argue over trivialities, and you wonder why you feel powerless. It's not because the world is against you. It's because your mind has stopped evolving. Imagine if you could reprogram your brain to think 10 times faster, to read people like open books, to predict outcomes before they arrive, to become so mentally sharp that no one can manipulate you. This is what I call cognitive advantage conditioning. A system that transforms your brain into a weapon of strategy, discipline, and control. This isn't motivation. This is mental evolution. This is how you become unshakable under pressure and unreadable in chaos. Because once your mind becomes stronger than your emotions, you stop reacting and you start leading. This is how you rise above manipulation, fear, and weakness. By mastering the only battlefield that truly matters, your mind. First truth. Intelligence. Is real power true? Domination doesn't come from external control. It comes from deep understanding. When your mind is sharper than your environment, you no longer have to fight for power. It comes to you naturally. Intelligent people don't need to prove anything through noise or conflict. They let their logic and precision speak for them. Intelligence isn't simply knowledge, it's foresight. It's the ability to see beyond emotions, beyond illusions, and to perceive the real structure of reality. When you understand how people think, how they react, and what motivates them, you can move through any situation like a chess player among pawns. Most waste their energy trying to appear powerful. The intelligent study silently, adapt constantly, and predict accurately. They know that real power is silent. It doesn't need to shout. It observes. It calculates. It moves with intention. Because when you can predict, you can control outcomes without ever appearing to be the one in control. Here's an important truth. The only way to protect yourself against flattery is to let people understand that telling the truth doesn't offend you. This isn't simply honesty, it's intellectual superiority, the kind of mind that's immune to emotional manipulation. A strong mind doesn't seek validation, it seeks accuracy, and that's what makes it dangerous. The intelligent mind detaches from ego. It learns from insults. It dissects failures. It transforms pressure into focus. Where others collapse under criticism, the intelligent sharpen their weapons. Every test, every mistake, every betrayal becomes information. Data for mastery. This is why intelligence is feared. The manipulator can deceive emotion, but never reason. You can trap someone who feels too much, but never someone who thinks deeply. When you train your cognition, you become untouchable. Not because you know everything, but because nothing surprises you anymore. Every move you make is deliberate. Every silence has meaning. Every reaction from others becomes predictable. This is what separates thinkers from followers. The intelligent move like shadows, silent but decisive. They understand timing, perception, and human psychology. They can guide a conversation without speaking much, redirect a conflict without confrontation, and gain influence without force. Intelligence creates leverage, and leverage creates freedom. When your mind understands how systems, people, and incentives work, you stop playing the game. You create it. That's when life begins to tilt in your favor. Not because you manipulate others, but because you master yourself. Intelligence is self-control. It's awareness. It's the discipline to pause when others panic, to analyze when others react, and to act only when timing is perfect. The intelligent mind sees opportunity in tension and calm in chaos. It never lets emotion take control because emotion blinds. Logic sees. This is why the intelligent remain calm when everyone else burns. They've trained themselves to detach from momentary feelings and connect to long-term consequences. The fool speaks to be heard. The intelligent speaks to lead. The fool reacts to every threat. The intelligent designs the threat. Remember this: every word you speak, every choice you make, every emotion you allow either strengthens or weakens your cognitive power. Protect your mind like a kingdom, because that's what it is. Sharpen it daily, challenge it, feed it pressure. Observe the world not for comfort, but for understanding. Because once you learn to think like no one else, you'll never again be treated like everyone else. A man who wishes to act entirely according to his professions of virtue soon meets what destroys him among so much that is evil. In other words, intelligence isn't about being good. It's about being wise enough to survive. And those who survive longest are those who think deepest. The system. Cognitive advantage conditioning. Let me show you how to build this advantage. It's a 6-phase system designed to sharpen your mind under pressure, predict outcomes before they arrive, and dominate every situation. By training your brain deliberately, you become faster, clearer, and impossible to manipulate. Phase 1. Create cognitive tension. Comfort silently kills genius. If you want a sharper mind, you must create pressure in your life until thinking becomes a reflex, not a refuge. Cognitive tension isn't pain for nothing. It's deliberate resistance that forces the brain to build new circuits, faster associations, and ruthless clarity. Start by rethinking your daily environment so it continuously demands more than you expect. Choose tasks that test your focus. Put yourself in controlled disagreement with smarter people. Read ideas that make you uncomfortable. Schedule short, intense periods where distraction is forbidden and consequences matter. This isn't masochism. It's training. The brain behaves like a muscle. Stress it with difficulty and it grows. Leave it soft and it atrophies. You must seek problems without easy answers and accept the temporary frustration that comes with growth. Seek conversations that expose your blind spots, not compliments that soothe them. Place small bets where the outcome depends on your judgment. Then study what the results reveal about your thinking. Don't let your brain live in the predictable. Trade the trivial for the challenging. Change your route to work. Learn a language with complex grammar. Debate a principle you disagree with, or tackle puzzles that force pattern recognition under time pressure. Every novelty creates cognitive micro-injuries that, once healed, leave stronger neural pathways. But tension without reflection is just noise. You must convert pressure into insight by capturing what you learn immediately. Keep a journal of surprises. Note emotional triggers. Map recurring mistakes. Force yourself to extract a tactical adjustment after each test. The goal isn't stress for show. It's repeated micro-tests that demand adaptation. Build rituals that simulate crisis so your brain becomes fluid in decision-making under uncertainty. Brief cold exposure to sharpen breath and focus. Meditation to notice the first sign of panic and choose your response. Timed problem sessions to reduce deliberation. Deliberate social challenges to practice unreadability. These are your exercises. Make them non-negotiable. As you increase cognitive tension, monitor your limits. Growth demands discomfort but not collapse. If your system tips into chronic overflow, reduce volume, then increase precision. Fewer but sharper challenges win against constant chaos. Over time, the capacity to hold tension becomes a resource. Your threshold rises, and mental clarity under pressure becomes habitual. When people panic, you think. When they hesitate, you act. That's leverage. In short, create a life that demands more than you expect. Convert every stress into learning and refuse the comfort that dulls perception. You're not training to survive mediocrity. You're training to surpass it through thought. He who desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. Phase 2. Master predictive thinking. Prediction is the currency of power. Those who foresee people's movements, events, and circumstances always operate above chaos, untouched. Mastering predictive thinking demands more than observation. It requires systematic cultivation of foresight that transforms possibility into probability. Start by studying patterns of human behavior. Notice repeated reactions. Recognize habitual choices. Trace emotional triggers that push decisions in predictable directions. Record these patterns without judgment. Then formulate scenarios about how they might evolve under different pressures. The intelligent mind doesn't wait for events to happen. It anticipates, prepares, and positions itself in advance. Also examine your own decision-making processes. What choices do you repeat unconsciously? What assumptions deceive you? What impulses betray logic? Predictive thinking is directed inward as much as outward. You must simulate outcomes internally before encountering them externally. Imagine conversations before they happen. Anticipate objections before they appear. Map responses in advance. The brain, trained this way, begins to detect subtleties invisible to ordinary perception, micro-expressions, tone shifts, hesitations. Everything reveals hidden intentions. Expand this practice beyond people. Systems, economies, social dynamics, and environmental changes can all be anticipated with structured analysis. Look for signals where others see noise. A tone change, a routine shift, a delayed response. These are early indicators of broader patterns. Maintain a record of consequences, past successes and failures to refine your prediction models. Every mistake isn't a defeat, but data. The more you track and analyze, the sharper your anticipation becomes and the less others' actions control you. This is strategic foresight in its pure form. The ability to act, not because circumstances demand it, but because you've already arranged the path ahead of you. Predictive thinking also demands emotional discipline. Expectation of outcomes must remain detached from desire. You can't forecast effectively if fear or greed distorts your perception. Neutral observation is a weapon. It allows you to stay calm while everyone reacts impulsively. Train your mind to ask, what will happen next? For every interaction, decision, or event. Then mentally rehearse multiple eventualities. Done constantly, the brain begins to automatically model scenarios, weigh probabilities, and prioritize actions without conscious effort. This is how intelligence becomes unassailable. Not through raw knowledge, but through foresight that leaves no room for surprise. By predicting moves before they arrive, you control the terrain without exerting force. You become the silent architect of outcomes, the invisible hand that guides events, and the strategist who never rushes into reaction. Men judge generally more by appearances than by reality. All have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. Phase 3. Develop mental agility. Mental agility is the ultimate weapon against stagnation and manipulation. A mind that bends without breaking dominates situations that crush rigid thinkers. To develop agility, you must train your thoughts to change instantly, to abandon comfort when it hinders opportunity, to see multiple solutions where others see only dead ends. Start by exposing yourself to scenarios that force rapid evaluation, complex problems with incomplete information, debates where adversaries challenge base assumptions, and tasks that demand simultaneous focus on multiple variables. The agile mind doesn't seek certainty. It thrives in ambiguity, learning to pivot without hesitation. Flexibility isn't indecision. It's the capacity to change strategy without losing coherence, to discard old patterns when they cease to serve, and to improvise solutions under pressure. Practice reframing challenges from multiple perspectives. For every obstacle, ask what alternative path exists that no one else sees. Build the habit of asking unconventional questions. Why is this the assumed solution? What would happen if I reversed the standard approach? Train your brain to hold multiple possible strategies simultaneously, weighing their risks and potential outcomes, so that when circumstances change, your response is immediate, precise, and effective. Mental agility also demands emotional fluidity. You must detach from frustration, disappointment, and attachment to a single plan, seeing these things only as data points for adjustment. People who cling to one way of thinking become trapped. Those who move with circumstances, adapting instantly, become untouchable. Another aspect of agility is speed. The faster your mind can analyze, adapt, and decide, the fewer openings there are for manipulation. Timed problem exercises, rapid scenario rehearsals, and simulated crises teach the brain to respond with speed and precision. Observe how the world resists change and use that resistance to refine your flexibility. Anticipate changes before they're obvious and prepare to adjust without delay. Learn to balance creativity and logic. The former generates new paths, the latter ensures they're viable. The agile mind is neither rigid nor chaotic. It's a disciplined dancer flowing between options with calculated freedom. Every unexpected turn, every challenge or threat becomes an opportunity to practice flexibility, sharpen instinct, and broaden mental range. When your thinking becomes fluid, others' attempts to trap, deceive, or control you fail because you never occupy a fixed position. You're a constant variable, unpredictable but precise, adaptive but intentional. Mastering mental agility transforms the brain into a dynamic weapon capable of navigating uncertainty, complexity, and conflict with ease. He who is prudent and waits for an enemy who is not will be victorious. Phase 4. Dominate through unpredictability. Predictability is a vulnerability. Those who follow patterns can be anticipated, controlled, and defeated. To dominate through unpredictability, you must train yourself to act without visible pattern, to change behavior in ways that disorient observers, and to cultivate a presence that resists anticipation. Start by deliberately altering routines. Vary your schedule. Change methods. Rotate approaches so no one can map your habits. Small inconsistencies build uncertainty around your character, forcing others to hesitate before acting, uncertain of your next move. Extend this principle to communication. Speak selectively, reveal intentions sparingly, and let ambiguity create advantage. The powerful mind understands that perception is reality. By projecting uncertainty and leaving gaps in understanding, you shape how others respond without direct confrontation. Unpredictability isn't chaos. It's controlled fluidity, the ability to pivot, deceive, or divert while maintaining strategic purpose. Practice creating false trails in negotiations, experiments, and social interactions. Hint at one plan, execute another, and adjust in real phase 6. Become the apex thinker. Becoming the apex thinker isn't a title. It's a state of mental supremacy where the mind governs every choice, every perception, and every outcome. It's the stage where reaction ceases and calculation dominates. Chaos becomes an ally, complexity a playground, and pressure a tool of refinement. The apex thinker observes without attachment, predicts without hesitation, and moves without revealing intention. Ordinary people respond to events. They rush, panic, and negotiate from weakness. The apex thinker designs circumstances, bending probability to advantage and shaping environments so outcomes align with strategy rather than chance. To reach this state, one must integrate all previous disciplines: cognitive tension, predictive mastery, mental agility, unpredictability, and emotional intelligence. Each element compounds, creating a mind that sees further, calculates faster, and adapts effortlessly. Decision-making becomes instantaneous because anticipation and strategy are internalized. Hesitation is eliminated because foresight covers every plausible scenario. Social interactions, once a source of stress, become instruments of influence. Subtle gestures, well-placed words, and calibrated presence guide others toward decisions they believe are their own, while you remain unreadable and untouchable. The apex thinker thrives under scrutiny and adversity, using pressure as fuel rather than distraction. Fear, envy, and manipulation lose their power because the mind has evolved beyond external control, drawing its strength from disciplined cognition rather than circumstances. Information becomes leverage. Knowledge is transformed into action with surgical precision. Faced with complexity, the apex thinker doesn't seek certainty, but builds paths through ambiguity, mapping multiple futures simultaneously and choosing the optimal route with clarity and confidence. Competitors and adversaries perceive intelligence but cannot measure its full scope. Their attempts to deceive or trap fail because the apex thinker is always several moves ahead. At this level, the mind isn't merely reactive or strategic. It's an autonomous engine of insight, awareness, and power. Every decision reflects understanding. Every pause demonstrates patience. And every action projects authority without exposure. To achieve this, one must continuously refine mental discipline, embrace challenges that stretch capacity, and apply cognitive practices constantly until thinking becomes instinctive yet deliberate. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Fear here isn't brutality, but the silent recognition of intellect and unpredictability. Take action. Now the world won't wait for your hesitation. An opportunity doesn't knock twice. Knowledge without action is a cage, and intelligence without application is wasted potential. This is your moment to step out of comfort and claim the mental power that separates the ordinary from the untouchable. The practices you've just learned: cognitive, advantage conditioning, predictive mastery, mental agility, strategic unpredictability, and emotional control aren't theories. They're tools of domination, instruments that transform your mind into a force that cannot be bent, manipulated, or deceived. The challenge is simple but brutal. Choose one step. Apply it relentlessly for 7 days and observe how your perception, your response, and your influence evolve. Push boundaries that once seemed safe. Embrace resistance that seemed uncomfortable. Force your brain to adapt because growth demands tension and clarity only emerges under pressure. When you act deliberately, you begin to outthink others mentally in ways they cannot detect. You anticipate their moves before they arrive. You shape outcomes without apparent effort. Every decision becomes strategic. Every interaction becomes an opportunity. And every obstacle becomes a lesson that fortifies the mind. But this demands more than commitment. It demands discipline. Distractions, excuses, and fear are enemies of intelligence. Eliminate them ruthlessly. Wasted time is abandoned leverage. Surround yourself with stimuli that challenge, environments that test, and situations that stretch cognition beyond habitual limits. Train your focus like a weapon. Observe every human behavior with attention. Test hypotheses continuously. Measure results and refine methods. The process is iterative and mastery is gradual. But every step compounds until your mind becomes your greatest advantage. Remember, power that cannot be exercised remains powerless. And intelligence that isn't applied is invisible. Commit to action, not intention. Take what you've learned and use it in daily life, in negotiations, in social strategy, in decision-making, and in moments of stress where others falter. When your thoughts are sharper than manipulation, faster than fear, and clearer than confusion, no one can control you again. This is the moment to become untouchable. What awaits you? If you found value in this system, take one final step. Leave a comment now. Simply write, "My intelligence is my weapon." This simple act affirms your commitment. It marks the beginning of your transformation. It's your declaration to the world that you refuse mental weakness and choose cognitive evolution. Then, share this video with someone who needs it. You know that person, the one who struggles silently because they've never learned to think strategically, the one who feels powerless because they're constantly reacting instead of creating. You could be the person who changes their trajectory. A simple share could transform their life. And if you want to continue developing your cognitive advantage, subscribe to this channel, because this is just the beginning. The videos to come will dive even deeper into the arsenal of mental domination. We're going to explore how to detect manipulation before the person even finishes their sentence, how to read body language and micro-expressions so no one can lie to you effectively, how to build your personal decision framework to never again doubt when facing an important choice. We're going to break down magnetic presence, that quality that makes everyone turn when certain people enter a room. We're going to tap into ancestral traditions of mental discipline and adapt them to modern chaos. But all of this will only happen if you take action now. Your brain isn't just a tool. It's your empire. Protect it, sharpen it, deploy it relentlessly. He who becomes master of himself will be master of others. Your challenge begins now. Write in the comments, "My intelligence is my weapon," and prove it through your actions in the next 7 days. Welcome among the apex thinkers. Your ascent begins here.